Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Tragic 2 podcast. It's Dan and Sursh here with you. Sursh, I suppose it's the end of the month.
Yes, just about, yeah.
Just about coming up towards the end of a month. And it's a recurring theme with me towards the end of every month where I look at my bank balance and go, oh,
I'm kind of not going to make it.
If my car decides to run out of petrol, the road can have the car.
Would you ever sell pictures of yourself?
No, never.
I'm saying that because I was talking to a girl recently who said that she was also going on a holiday towards the end of the month.
You asked me this knowing my parents listen to this podcast.
Do you know what? We said worse. It's fine. But you know what? I asked her, I was like, what did you do? So she got talking to this guy who had originally asked for pictures of her feet.
Yeah.
She was like, but he doesn't see my face, so it's grand. Ended up giving her money for that, but offered her a little bit more for more of a picture. Mm-hmm. And she sent it. She's like, I went off my holidays, got the money. And when I came back, now I'm thinking, he has that forever. And I can't take that back. So it got me thinking, would you do it if your face wasn't, if your face was blurred out? No one knew it was actually you.
See, I studied morals and ethics in college and I couldn't. I absolutely couldn't.
No, sometimes you wish you didn't have any ethics and morals. Because if you didn't, then it'd be so much easier to do that kind of thing and not care.
What if your face, if just completely anonymous?
Yeah.
Yeah, this discussion has come up in various circles of, whether it be work colleagues or friends or, whatever, going, it's a fairly easy income stream.
It is, though. You literally have to sit there. Sometimes they'll actually buy your used underwear and your used socks and stuff.
Oh, no. You see, there's where, I have a huge issue with that.
You don't have to wash your clothes then. I have no issue with that.
In the post.
The only thing I wonder, though, could they clone something? Could they take any of your DNA from...
Oh, yeah.
And then, do something with that?
If you haven't washed it or...
Yeah.
That's real conspiracy shit right there.
I know. It was something that I thought about. I was like, I don't mind someone actually wanting my socks, but what if they were able to, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I do very obviously need another income stream because I'm paid on the last day of the month, which is the 31st of May. And I haven't a bean in my pocket. And also, guess what? I'm going on holidays next week.
Well, you see, I think everybody's in that position. I'd say anyone listening today is going, I also have no money, but nobody talks about it. So you're
My lover's got no money. And I don't have strong beliefs either.
Exactly. He literally just goes through life.
Want more and more. People just want more. That song is now starting to make so much more sense to me
pour the
these
wine,
days.
Put that song on and just forget about your issues. Exactly. At least he made money off that song though. You know what I mean? Yeah. But no, I do think everybody else is the same.
And I come back off holiday and still another week to payday.
You're going to have to start doing something.
Why
don't you do TikTok dances on holiday?
No.
Do it.
I don't think anybody wants to see me dancing on TikTok.
It's always the people that you think don't want to see you dancing that will pay for that shit. I would give that
but then
go.
I turn into a giant meme.
That actually got me thinking about a story I saw yesterday of this lady who was 7 months pregnant and somebody videoed her privately. Now she put it up on her story. She was saying this is really not okay. I'm 7 months pregnant. I was trying to get on my floaty and... the teenager's videoing her and she's like, I know that's going to go on TikTok and I'm going to be some pregnant viral TikTok sensation. She's like, I never signed up for this. So you could easily be. Yeah. You could be the next one. I'm backing you on this.
Yeah. I mean, are you are you good for a loan?
Do you know what? I'm manifesting, this whole woo-woo stuff that if you think you have loads of money, you're fine. Just think about it. If you think you have it, okay, and just focus on that, then you don't have to worry about the issues.
Well, before we started recording, and Dave from A Podcast Geek, who's kindly provided, by the way, with this phenomenal new studio. Look, I don't think I mentioned it at the start. This amazing new studio. So before we started recording, I got a notification that came through going, your subscription to, it's actually the what we pay for the the graphics, the Tragic 2 and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. So next month has now come out and I made this noise.
I did actually hear you do that.
Yeah, like a horse.
I know.
So
It's always the things that you forget that you signed up for, or you do the free subscription and then it comes out the next month and you're like, shit.
I'm there going, has Netflix come out? Has Amazon Prime?
Do you know what you
come
need
out?
to do with the Netflix thing? Go out with someone, okay? Then use their Netflix, and then when you break up, just continue using their
continue
Netflix. That's
using
what
theirs,
I do.
yeah.
I have somebody's Sky. I have somebody's Netflix. I don't pay for
I
any
have
of that.
my brother's Disney account.
Yeah, see? That's the way forward. Yeah. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today.
No.
We are here to talk about insults, which I have told you about an insult that I got before. That
Is broke-ass bitch an insult?
Not really.
No.
I wouldn't say so, is it? I mean, I guess
It's pointing out the obvious.
it's pointing out the obvious, but everybody's broke, so it's kind of
Yeah.
It's a universal thing. It's more when it's directed personally at you that you're like, oh God, why? What did I do to deserve this? But yeah, no, I discussed a number of insults that I received within my life, and they have been personal and they've been really mean. Mean.
I mean, yeah, like, and I suppose social media is like sort of where all of this is, like, you see it all the time, all of these insults they get. Like, I get quite a number of them thrown around through, so obviously, like, I'm and I've mentioned this before, I'm a big Bohemian supporter. There's a certain section of what I like to call Bohemians Twitter or Bohemians online that are just, not saying all of them, but there are some in every club and there's some in every section that have these sort of like fake profiles. It's a fake profile picture and a ridiculous handle name and whatever.
What, just for people to give out to you? Or to say mean things?
Or just to that it's their way of getting away with saying, ridiculous things. And there's some people and sort of whittle. I've managed to whittle down. I'd be standing there in the crowd. And I'm like, whose Twitter account is that? And I'm looking around and going, oh, actually, do you know what? It's you. You look like that's your Twitter account. So I've managed to whittle it down. There are now. There was one ridiculous one, right? And like obsessed much is, all I can say to this person, who just he tweeted me. I had tweeted something about the club. I can't remember what it was, and his response to me was, "Shut up, Daniel Bitcher."
Oh, I quite like that surname.
But that's like
that's a good insult.
Are you 12? Calling me Daniel Bitcher? Are you 12?
At least you aren't called Saoirse Long Pubes.
You were not.
No, in fairness, I actually wasn't, but my sister is called Dee, as you know, and she was Dee Long Pubes.
Oh, Dee.
Thank God for laser hair removal, where you don't have to go and cry yourself to sleep because you know it's not true. But Dee Long Pubes, how mean is that?
My
Tragic.
God, she's gonna hate you. She's like, Dee, I mean, my sympathies with you, but like, she is actually going to hate you for saying that.
As a teenager, that's what she was called. It didn't help as well that my mom came in one day and my brother had shaved his beard, right, in the bathroom upstairs, and we were there with all our friends.
She wasn't using it.
No, my brother had shaved his beard upstairs in the bathroom, and we were there in the sitting room with all our friends, boys, girls, the usual. My mom has no filter, so she walked in and she was like, whose pubes are in the sink? Get your pubes out of the sink. We were like, they're not pubes. That's his beard. That is our brother's beard in the sink, okay? No one sat on the bloody sink shaving their pubes.
Oh, God.
But yeah, Dee Long Pubes. Like, that's worse than Bitcher, yeah.
Yeah. I have had somebody as well, and I'm pretty certain this has come from the same section of weirdos that need to get their life in order. But the one of them pulled up a picture from like donkeys years ago when I was doing a sports show on Q102. With a man called Cathal Dervin. He was the sports editor with the news. He's up in the FAI now, but he was a sports editor with a newspaper, and he did the show with me. So a part of this was that they got a photographer to come in and take a picture of the two of us. This was going into an ad that was going to be published in the papers, blah, blah, blah. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Like so long ago. And this person obviously Google imaged me and found this picture of me and Col in the studio, and had taken it, had saved it and put it into a tweet, and I was wearing a white shirt in this photo, and very, very stylish white shirt with these cool button placements and, you know, whatever. And like was making fun of the buttons on my shirt. He's I can't remember exactly what he tweeted, but it was making fun of the buttons on my shirt. And I'm like, if that's all you have on me,
that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
like what you're wearing in a picture. I don't know.
It's like,
especially when it's in a professional setting, you're like, really, is that all you've got? But like people used to do that about my accent. So,
really?
Yeah, because when I look at, now I don't know how my accent is the way it is. I actually don't, because none of my family really do talk the same as me, right? And when I was younger, all our baby videos, I'm like, Mommy, Daddy, like I have a very inner city accent, which is, I don't know where that came. In the videos? Yeah, as a child. Like it's very strange. And then I grew up. Now, in fairness, you know, it's who you grow up with.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I was around rugby players. So of course that's probably
all
where
the guys.
The guys. But somebody said to me before,
Two sticks of Heinemei's barkeep.
I'm from Dublin 3. And they said, you sound like someone that's from Dublin 34. And I was like, is there such thing as Dublin 34? Is there a 34? Because you sound like somebody from Dublin 3 that lives in Dublin 4. So Dublin... Like, Dublin 34. I was like, that is so mean and insulting. So I basically sound like a snob. An out and out snob.
I know you don't.
I probably do a little bit.
No, but like I've spoken to your sisters and your brothers and stuff, but they're like, there's no...
They don't have an accent either way, but they'll slag me saying that neutral.
What's the word? Neutral or affluent? Is affluent a word?
See, that's snobby now. You're going into... Yeah. I just find a posh accent is stuck up, and I'm not stuck up.
It's not really.
I take the piss out of
But like
myself.
we're on... Like, but the thing is as well, we're broadcasters as well.
Yeah.
I'm
not talking
radio.
like this.
Oh, no. No, surely not. That. No.
But sometimes I catch myself. You know, certain words you say and you're like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I guess the accent thing, that would hurt me a little bit, where I'm like, no, I don't like that.
I always grew up with sort of weight issues. And that was always one that, especially when I was in school, was always one that people took and tried to go way too far with it.
Yeah, people love to do that. Yeah, use the weight thing. But I remember, now I never suffered with my weight, but obviously that in between age of like being a child and like a teenager.
Oh, when changes are happening.
Yeah, and also you're eating a shitload of food. You know, that period of time where you're trying to steal money from your parents that they've left the change at the side of their bed and you go down to get a 3-in-1. So I was doing that on top of having dinner. So I probably had a little bit of weight on me. And remember those jam and cream rolls that you could get in like just a regular
eclairs,
shop?
Yeah,
but they used to have a little tiny section where you could actually buy them fresh in my local shop. Yeah. So I was getting them every single day with a Fanta Exotic and a packet of Doritos, as you do.
Cream cakes, Fanta Exotic and what?
Fanta Exotic and Doritos.
Oh,
Red Doritos, yeah. So anyway, I'm rocking
you were
up.
Posh.
I wasn't. I was just stealing the money from...
I just had 10 penny sweets.
Yeah, but this is now... I'm talking Celtic Tiger. Like,
God, it sounds so old.
This is Celtic Tiger where people had change lying around. I don't think they do now. Well, I think they do, but they're probably €3. But anyway, so I went to a shop one day and I was only 14 and the guy asked me when I was due.
Now.
Now, in fairness to me, right? In fairness, I had no self-awareness. I was in that awkward in-between child and teenager stage, eating all the stuff I was eating, and I was wearing a belly top at the time. So, like, I probably shouldn't have been wearing a belly top. There was no need for that belly top. At the time, the belly was not toned and it was probably sticking out. But he actually asked me when I was due in front of all my friends who then took the piss out of me.
Oh no.
So that was bad. That was the last time I ate
but
those
like,
cream cakes.
would you have rathered, Saoirse long pubes or when are you due?
Long pubes, definitely. Long pubes, because I never had long pubes.
You'd never shake that.
Never. It was just horrendous. But that was one of the school times that I remember.
School was such a rotten place, really, now when you think about it.
Yeah, like the bullying was like... But like you could be the bully or they'd be the bully. Like it was like your way of communicating though.
Yeah.
Like everybody did it. But then when I got older, going out with somebody, this is so bad. Now, I think I told you this story. So I was going out with somebody, like I was looking the way I kind of am now, probably a little bit fitter, probably a little bit younger. And I was living with him and he was unemployed at the time, typical. And I remember him saying to me one day that, why would you want to be an 8 out of 10 when you can be a 10 out of 10? That I needed to go to the gym to work out even more. And dead serious. And when I got pissed off with that comment, he was basically telling me all the parts of my body.
Why would I want to be?
Why would you want to be an 8 out of 10 when you could be a 10 out of 10?
Oh, for
I stayed with him for another year.
you...
Of course I did, yeah.
Fool.
But it's one of these things that like you're so caught off guard that it makes you actually think that, shit, maybe he's right.
Yeah.
Maybe if I did go to the gym.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's
loads
horrendous.
and loads.
Well,
came
actually,
into us.
I've had something similar to that. So, like, I've had various stages now. Like on Thursday, I'm going away on a thing called a fitness holiday.
Yeah.
Right. People have said to me, "There's no such thing as a fitness
You've
holiday."
asked me to go on this holiday. I absolutely do not want to go. But you said it's fun.
Yeah,
I don't know how
it is.
fitness...
I did this last year. So my gym, Ger Conroy Fitness # not an ad, and basically you go away. It's 5 days. You do 3 workouts a day, and in between those workouts is your time to chill or to do whatever, and then you have a bit of crack at night, and it's an all-inclusive trip. So it's if you want to have a couple of drinks, there's nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
Not being a broke ass bitch is not stopping me.
No, you're
next
still
week.
going. Yeah.
So I've had all of these various stages up in the gym, and I've been on all of these plans, and plans have worked for me down the years, and I've ended up losing a huge amount of weight through them and have ended up feeling great. But then things have, so like before the pandemic, like right before the pandemic, I lost 5 stone.
Which is amazing.
Which is through one of these plans is amazing.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I think I did my very best to put all 5
Well,
of
there's
them.
nothing else to do bar eat.
Exactly. And I was eating and I ate and drank my way through the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was dreadful and the weight came back on me. But I had done a sort of a podcast. Jer was doing podcasts at the time because the gym was obviously closed. And I was talking about my weight loss journey that I had been on pre-pandemic and, whatever. And then when things started to free up and to open up a little bit and I was seeing more people, they were going, "Oh, Dan, you look great." And I'm like, no, I've literally put on 3 stone. I have shut your mouth. So I actually find "Oh, Dan, you look great." And I'm like, I weighed myself this morning and I'm 2 kilos heavier than I was yesterday. No,
but
I don't. But
nobody's going to turn around and go, "You look bloody awful, don't you?"
Well,
they don't though. They don't tend to do that.
They don't tend to.
More people are going to say you look great even if you don't.
I find that, and my brother does it a lot.
Lies to you.
He completely lies to me. He says, "Oh, have you been in the gym?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
It's a topic conversation. You're
Shut
like,
up.
if it makes you feel better, it's easier.
I had a munchie box last night. No.
And you know it because you can see it in my cheeks.
Yeah. My face is massive. Everywhere is massive.
I know, it's tragic. But
I do find all of that very insulting.
I know. Well, look, it's better than him saying you look in bits.
Yeah. So I'll tell you when I lose a couple of stone, and then you can say, "Oh, you look great. Oh, thanks very much."
Exactly. Yeah. But we put this question out to everybody to get involved, and some of the ones that came back, they're harsh.
Okay.
They're really harsh.
Hit me.
My friend's dad's girlfriend told me I looked like Wayne Rooney.
Oh, no.
If you had the money of Wayne Rooney, brilliant. You'd be thrilled. But in looks now, he's not blessed.
No. Oh, no.
He's not. He looks...
Was never.
He looks very like Shrek.
I was
He does
literally
look like
just
Shrek.
about to say Shrek.
Yeah. So imagine someone saying that. That is really insulting.
And this came from what person? This came from a relative, or what did you say? The
My friend's dad's girlfriend. So it's not even somebody
who
trying
probably came
to...
from the tennis club or something.
No, but still, people do tend to be honest. "Oh, you look like that actor. You look like that. Who is it?" It's usually somebody that's absolutely bet down. And speaking of weight, you're trying to lose weight again. You just can't do it, can you?
Oh, no. Who
would say that?
I would loaf you. If somebody said, I would loaf
Isn't
a
that
person
you
to say
can
that to me.
picture the person saying that to you?
Yeah.
That's an older woman.
Yeah.
Who's probably in her late 60s, early 70s, no filter, thinks it's okay to say
Yeah.
that.
I'm trying to help you here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't. It's not for you, is it? Just be fat.
I would. No. The thing, no.
You wouldn't be able to bite your tongue. You'd actually have to say something.
Absolutely. I would fire right back.
I know you would. The worst insult I've ever been called was Waterloo, as I drink loads of water. Waterloo.
Well, maybe because if you drink loads of water, you're constantly going to the
Yeah, I kind of. That's a cool.
Waterloo.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I pee like about 5 times during the night, so that's basically in relation to me. You look like you listen to Apple Music. Is that insulting?
You look like you listen to Apple Music.
Yeah. I don't get it. I'm not techie though.
Like, what does Apple Music look like?
Yeah.
Shit.
Is that like someone saying, "Oh, you look like someone that would have an iPhone"? You know, that's meant to be an insult.
I don't get that either.
I don't either. But you hear that quite a lot. Oh, you're one of those.
You're an iPhone wanker.
Yeah,
you're an Apple wanker.
You're an Apple wanker. Yeah.
Okay.
But what is Apple Music?
I'm still having trouble with Apple, so I'm going to take that one and okay.
Very strange. It was meant to be an insult. I don't believe in God because my parents raised me wrong.
That's not an insult, is it?
I don't believe in God because my parents raised me wrong. As in, like,
I don't think I understand what they're trying to say there.
Because they're saying, "Oh, I don't believe in God" to their parents' friends or whatever, and then they're looking at them saying, "Oh, yeah, it's because you weren't raised right." That's why
they were saying it back. Yeah. Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I mean, is that really a thing anymore, though? Religion. Like, I don't think anyone really...
Oh, we've had this so many times.
I love the way you can now say what you want, you know? Yeah. I remember saying on air, you know, years ago, you weren't allowed to mention anything about religion or priests fiddling kids.
Oh, no, now you
let's
not.
Now you can, though. Yeah,
but I'd rather not.
Yeah, though. But everybody knows that happens.
Yeah.
So, like, now they don't care if you go to mass anymore because they know that the most dangerous place for your child to be is in the church.
Losing my religion.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember the worst, but my recent one was, I get this all the time, you look withered or you look sick.
You look withered.
You know, if a girl is not wearing makeup, it's like, "Oh, you don't look well today. Are you feeling okay?" It's like, "No, I'm just pale because I don't have a full face of makeup on." You get that all the time.
You look like a toe.
You look withered. And there's nothing worse than getting 8 hours sleep, feeling fucking great, and then
somebody saying you look a bit
really
weird.
tired,
yeah.
and then
you got bags under your eyes. You're like, no,
and you have to say, "Oh yeah, I didn't really sleep well last night," knowing well that you had a great sleep and like you're feeling great. That's bad.
Yeah,
that is bad. I do get that a lot.
And actually,
you don't get bags under your eyes. You, as I was saying to you, you have very good skin.
But do you know what happens me though is, and I've started to notice it a lot lately, is I get bloodshot.
Oh, in the eyes.
I looked at myself in the mirror and went, "Holy shit, yeah. I need a couple of hours."
See, I get wrinkles. You don't get that. Yeah, you have to worry about that. Now, in fairness, if nobody knows this, Dan wears his moisturiser every day.
Oh yeah, but I have to because my face peels. It's disgusting.
It is quite cute though that you carry around moisturiser.
I like to just.
It works. I mean, you look great. Last night, a fella called me a refugee because I can't be Irish. I'm just back from a holiday in Tenerife. Imagine something.
Sorry, what? You're a refugee?
Yeah.
Because
he must be a refugee when your man actually just came back from a holiday.
Oh, because he's just constantly going on holidays.
Because he's tanned, yeah. That's just
I think
racism.
I was just going to say there is a smidge of racism.
But you get that? Like, I have friends that get that a lot as well.
I've never been called a refugee.
No, but like that, your friend, I have a friend who always, "Oh, where are you from?" It's like, "I'm Irish." No, but like, "Where are you actually from?" It's like, "I'm Irish. I'm from Clontarf." Like,
we're not right wing.
It's just, no, we are not. This is not an insult.
Okay.
A friend of mine said, someone said I look like Julia Stiles, the actress. I mean, Julia Stiles
said you
gorgeous.
look like Julia Stiles?
No, she did.
Oh, sorry.
Now, this girl doesn't look like Julia Stiles, but like, that's okay. I wouldn't mind being any celebrity compared to any celebrity. I always feel, even if they look a little bit not the most attractive, still they have status, so you kind of want to be compared to that.
I suppose the thing is then as well is how do, like, if somebody insulted you, you know, whatever, said, "When are you due?" I don't know, for example.
Yeah.
how do you, so obviously when you leave that person and you're there, you're sitting on your own then later on at night.
I stick on that song, Hello Darkness, my old friend. So, and I rock back and forth in the dark.
What's your, like, do you end up thinking about that then? Or like, how do you respond at the time? How do you respond a bit later?
It depends on if you're insecure about it yourself. Like, do you ever notice that? If it's something that you're thinking about and then someone says it, that's when it will get to you.
Yeah.
But if it's not something that you care about, usually it will go over my head.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of way. So if I think, I do sound a bit annoying, and then someone says that, I'm like,
because somebody called us it was one of the earlier episodes that we did, and melts, yeah.
And like, I've always been called a melt. Like, I can take a melt. Like, I'm an absolute melt.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been called a melt on Twitter as well. I'm like, yeah, okay, you do you.
Yeah, I don't mind that. No, but you get to an age as well where you don't really give a shit. I don't like, they don't hit me like they used to. Like, say for example, being asked to go back to the gym and work harder. Like, at the time, I was like, shit, maybe I will, and I did, which was ridiculous. Now I'd be like, this is a guy who at the time had like food stains down his t-shirt, hadn't showered in 2 days and hadn't got a job. And I was like, now I'd be like, get out. Just leave. There's the door.
Somebody said to me, actually only quite recently, because I over the last year, I've gotten into doing stadium announcing.
Oh yeah.
Down in Bowes. And I absolutely love it, right? Yeah. Absolutely love it. Dream come true for me, right? And somebody said to me, stick to the day job.
Oh.
And I'm like,
that's insulting.
Announcing is my day job.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
I'm like,
pretty similar.
Yeah. It's like, well, I said, what's wrong with you? And he said, oh, you said such and such's name wrong. And I'm like,
I'm human. Okay. I'm not a robot.
I said, like, if I handed you this microphone, could you, because like you have a script to follow and you're trying to follow, and you're trying to follow things to different things. So you're changing music at the same time as you're moving on to the next thing that you're supposed to do. And I'm like, if I handed you, stand up there in front of the PA system and you do all of that.
Yeah.
With also battling against the sound of thousands of people singing and chanting and, you know, doing all of that. And you're in the background trying to, you know, go, yo, in goal for Bohemians, #1. You know, and I'm like, and you're hearing you. So like we can hear ourselves back immediately in our headphones.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where in a stadium, I'm hearing myself back a second later.
Yeah.
As I'm still talking.
And that's really off-putting.
And that's really off-putting.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like, oh, stick to the day job. And I'm like, well,
yeah, everyone's going to have an opinion.
Announcing is my day job, mate.
I remember.
And I've been doing it quite well for the last 15 years. So go and fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like, I was told the same. Like, I have a qualification in drama teaching for kids. And someone said, well, you don't even grasp the English language though. Sorry, I sound like I have a smoker's cough. Yeah. I was like, now, in fairness, they had a point because
you can't even grasp the English language.
I was doing an ad.
You can't do anything. You know, your life is like we have all of these issues that,
exactly.
You know, whatever. And then the nail in the coffin is you can't even grasp the English language.
Yeah, which was really quite hitting me hard. But I'd just done an ad for a company and they had sat in on this ad. And one of the words was recyclable. Oh. I now, like for 35 years, I thought it was recyclable, not knowing it was recyclable. I still can't say the word. So, you know, they were like, how did you not know that? Like, that is literally the English language that you haven't grasped. Yet you've worked in radio and you've also done a drama teaching
this
course.
This is supposed to come as first nature to you.
Yeah, so it didn't. So that's quite insulting. Also, a funnier one, I remember a teacher telling me that I could sing. Now, you know right well that I absolutely can't.
Yeah, we've.
My music teacher said to me one day, she was like, you know, you can sing.
Do the Tala song.
I think she was an alcoholic. I do think she actually was.
Tell you're all that I want.
I did sing certain songs before very badly, and I gave my all. I don't have a note in my head. So yeah, she lied to me, but in a good way.
Yeah.
She did lie to me in a good way, but that was an insult because it's not true. So yeah, anyway.
I mean, if you are if you are in a situation where, you know, we've got thick skin and to be doing the things that we do, radio, podcasting, you know, somebody's bound to tell us we're a melt. Somebody's bound to tell us that we're shite, that the podcast is shite.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
You do you. But there are people that, you know, they can have an insult thrown at them and they're like, oh.
But it's when you get to this age, I think, I don't care about, you know, growing up and stuff. Like, that's just kids
but it's about
messing and...
So coping with it and being able for it to be, you know, something that doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Like, properly affect you. And it depends on the grace and resilience, I suppose, on how how you put yourself across then afterwards.
Yeah.
And like, you know, people's confidence can get knocked as a result of them. But it's about going, okay, well, this person hasn't a clue what they're talking about.
But like older people, like our parents' generation.
Yeah.
You know, like in my family, I'm the only one that's not, you know, engaged or in a relationship where we're living together and all the rest of it. And like, it's just a given now that it's like, oh, she didn't want that, you know? And it's like, oh, she's the career woman. I'm like, no, I'm not. I never said that. I never signed up for this, you know? So it's like, they've already told you what you can't have and insulting you along the way. It's like, oh, you're past that age, so you couldn't possibly have that. So
I've just for people who may not know then how to deal with that, I've just done a quick Google, right, on how to cope with insults.
Yeah.
So responding to insults with grace and resilience, as I've said, involves recognizing them as an external to our true selves, evaluating them objectively, and employing strategies such as ignoring them, obviously, which, you know, you just have to do, or responding with humor. Which is another really good one. Effective communication and empathy can prevent misunderstandings and reduce the likelihood of insults in the future.
No, what you do, especially in situations where it's like your parents' generation, when they ask about, oh, your weight or your, oh, when are you going to get married? Then you just turn it back on them and say, when is your funeral?
Good Lord.
But that will shut them up. I mean, it's kind of humour, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if you're still living under the roof...
Putting the nail in the coffin. Boom, boom.
my God.
Sorry, I know that was too far. That was too far. But yeah, I always want to say that. Like, I have it, you know, it's in your head and you're at a family situation and you're like,
you see,
don't say it. Don't say it.
Like, while, like, okay, you've an apartment situation to go home to. I still have my parents' roof.
That is true. It's a little bit harder.
It's not like I can go anywhere.
No. You just have to sit there and just grind your teeth and be like, yeah, it's fine.
I love my mammy and daddy very much.
Thank you for letting him stay in your house.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, like insult, like it's just, but it's at the same time, like
it's an Irish thing as well, though. Do you not think?
But you like to think that these are things that, you know, are like a remnants of your past, but they're still things that continue.
But it is part of our culture where like people give insults as a way to communicate. People give insults
as
in
banter.
Yeah.
Or, you know, yeah.
Like more so than probably anywhere else that I've been. You know, it's just that kind of.
But then it goes then to the next stage and you know, sort of like some of the people who have thrown insults at me are probably about 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Right. And like I'm in my 30s. And it's like, okay, well, these people are, you know, clearly people who are living in a world where they've actually never left school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
School finishing hasn't happened to them yet.
Yeah. But sure, look, a lot of the time it's because they're actually miserable themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that's
because because you're masking your own insecurities by throwing shade at somebody else.
Of course.
So there you go.
Keep going, insulting people.
Keep going.
Go forward.
Well, no, sorry, no. Keep going, insulting people. No. You know, what's the old saying when you were a kid? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
That's bullshit. They absolutely do hurt you. Sticks and stones don't hurt you. It's the words.
Or what was the one on I was watching a Sky News debate years ago, and it was about, you know, whether feminism was going way too far. And obviously they had a feminist and they had this bloke who, you know, obviously argued the other point. and his finishing point, and they were giving him the last word, and he says, well, you know, I just think of the old adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but there'll always be something to offend a feminist.
And then it was like, we're going to finish now, we're going to wrap up.
And she was there going, no, you have to let me come back in there. I will never speak to your show again. And they were trying to go, well, no, we've got an ad break to take. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, that's our spiel on insults for this week. So there you go. You can still continue to share if you've got any other ones. You can continue to share them on the videos that we put up on our Instagram page at Tragic2Pod. Is where you'll get us there. We're also on Amazon, and we are Amazon Music, rather, should I say, and we're also on Spotify. I did get a message in, and I want to address this as well. We're Apple is being a pain in the bollocks with me at the minute. Do you remember? You remember all the trouble we tried to get through to get onto Apple Podcasts, and somebody had actually messaged into the page going, "Oh, where's your thing on Apple gone?" And I said, well, it's not there yet.
Long story short.
So yeah, we are still working on that as well. But you can also get us on YouTube, where the full episodes go up. We want to say again a massive thanks. So like Dave O'Gara has been coming to your apartment with all of the bits and bobs and the cameras and the lighting and the everything else.
This is so cool. This little studio is deadly.
Just amazing. Yeah. And it was actually great. It was great to walk into, because over the last couple of weeks, Dave's been providing like podcasts on wheels, and has like been rolling up with all of the great equipment or whatever. And like if I was doing it, I don't think I would have the patience in terms of the length of time and the effort that just goes into making everything perfect. Yeah. So being able to walk in and just sit down and go.
It's so professional. I feel like a child at a meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So check out A Podcast Geek. Dave O'Gara is the main man to catch there. And I'm absolutely blown away by this, and really, really looking forward now to working with Dave going forward. So that is where we end Tragic 2 for this week, episode 14.
Yay!
We're nearly at the... And I say it in my head every single week. We're nearly at that point where we're in the 1% of podcasters that make it past episode 20.
We will make it.
We will make it.
We are determined.
We'll go to episode 20 and break up. No, we won't.
You better be nice to me.
That is where we leave Tragic 2 this week. Have yourselves a great week. We'll talk to you again.
Bye.